Gyro Loop is the most thrilling ride at Pacific Park and the Santa Monica Pier by far. This is a unique variant on the top spin where riders control how often they flip, but it does require a bit of technique for the optimal ride. So in this video, I will review this interesting ride. Moser Rides debuted the Gyro Loop in the late 2000s. This ride had the footprint of a playground swing, and just a max height of 22 feet or 6.5 meters, making it easy to fit into nearly any amusement park. The one limiter is the ride's capacity. Each gondola holds just 2 riders maximum. Some installations have 2 gondolas, others have just 1. Pacific Park installed one of the earliest gyro loops, and they decided to call it by the model name. I believe these were installed back in 2009. I say these because the Seaside Amusement Park went with the 1 gondola model, but they installed 2 side by side to help with capacity. That being said, this ride's throughput is abysmal compared to traditional amusement rides. Each cycle lasts roughly 2 minutes. When you add a minute to load and unload, which may be generous given this ride's loose article policy, at best each side will accommodate 40 riders per hour. That's why the park does not include this ride in the all-day wristband. Everyone who wants to experience it must purchase a $10 ticket. Now, one oddity is that Pacific Park does not consider Gyro Loop a ride. Subsequently, you won't even find it on the website's ride page anywhere. Instead, they list it under the games section. When you read the description, it gets even more puzzling. It advertises that riders can try to win a prize while on board. That's news to me. The operators haven't told me about any prize, nor is there a prize rack anywhere by the attraction. So if anyone knows more about this statement, I'd love to know. My only thought is that the 2 arms compete to see who flips more, but in my visits, only one side has been in use due to demand. Gyro Loop has been a complete walk-on each time, and I'm sort of surprised it doesn't draw in more of a crowd. It has a prominent spot in the midway beneath West Coaster, and has a lot of axes of motion. Once it's your turn to ride, the operator will instruct you to remove everything from your pockets, and I mean everything. You also will need to take off your glasses even if you have a strap. That's why I found it curious they did allow GoPros after all that. When you board the open-air gondola, you are secured by a snug over-the-shoulder harness. The operator then goes over the controls with you. There are 3 buttons on the harnesses. The right handle has 2 green buttons. One rotates the arm forwards, the other rotates the arm backwards. The left handle has 1 red button. The operator said that stopped the gondola. I interpreted that statement as an emergency stop at the time, but after learning more about this ride model, I believe that's a clutch that stops the rotation of the gondola to help you flip it. But if anyone knows for sure, again let me know in the comments. I rode alone, so there was no confusion who controlled the ride experience. Both riders have buttons on their harnesses, so I'm not sure if each gets to control the experience for half the time, or if one person is designated the driver. This is another point I'd love to have answered if someone knows. On the 2 gondola models, the control is split between both gondolas for half the ride. I have experienced this firsthand on Control Freak at Belmont Park. Once the ride starts, you can begin rotating the arm. The arms take 2 passes in either direction to reach their top speed. When you decide to change direction, the arm stops on a dime and moves the other way a moment later. Since your gondola can rock back and forth, your momentum determines when and how much you flip. From what I saw off-ride, most people were struggling to get this down. For me, the key is to change direction right as you complete a rock in the opposite direction. For example, if your gondola just rocked forwards more than 45 degrees, immediately start going backwards, or vice versa. This combination usually allowed me to chain a few quick flips in a row, and at worst, I'd stall myself upside down for a second or 2 and could then try again. The flips don't pull crazy G's on their own like a top spin. The one exception is if you're inverted as you go through the ride's lowest point. That is a recipe for blood flowing right to your head. The flips are very disorienting though. You flip at several different elevations, have no clue how many you'll perform in a row, and you have all the energy of the boardwalk's other rides cycling around you. It is quite overwhelming. If that red button is indeed a clutch, that would make it far easier to rotate on a return visit. I imagine you'd want to try to do what I do on a Rocco plane. On those rides, I stall the vehicle upside down as I go over the top. Then I release the clutch as you rotate downwards to start flipping. So what would I rate Gyro Loop? I would give this flat ride an 8 out of 10. Few thrill rides offer a more enjoyable experience in such a small package. I would love to see this type of ride pop up in more family entertainment centers and carnivals. The only real flaw is the capacity, which can be mitigated by placing these at smaller parks. There's a lot of re-ride value trying to maximize your flips and come off as dizzy as possible. So those are my thoughts on Gyro Loop at both Pacific Park and my overall thoughts on the model. What are your thoughts on this little flat ride? Have you ridden one? If so, what are your thoughts on the attraction? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.